Welcome back to the Forging Alpha podcast. We are in setup number, I believe, 3 at this point, but This is a pretty comfortable setup.
A lot better than the table.
It is better than the table.
A little stuffy.
So this is episode 5, I believe. We have pre-recorded the last 4, so I believe today is going to be the first day they're actually coming out. So there's going to be a little bit of a delay between what the people are seeing and what we're experiencing on here, but I like being ahead of the schedule on that. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, we got them in the bank.
We got them in the bank, man. A lot of the things that we do down here, it ends up being kind of day of or similar. So we have series that we run on social, like a Taco Tuesday review, a Whiskey Wednesday. Right now, we've been in the habit of doing those day of, which is a total pain. What is nice is when we get a little bit ahead. We've gotten ahead on the podcast a couple times that we run through MMG. I think the most is like 2 episodes, but I do like that you have the time to kind of tease the content out before it actually drops, which is cool. So hopefully you've been seeing all kinds of reels at this point.
Yeah. And I mean, if it's something people like, they're not going to mind that it's coming out a little bit slower.
Yeah, I think it'd be totally fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do we got today in the bottles?
We got some Ghost Gamer. Little nootropics, Phase Pop, I think.
Phase Pop. So
Pop.
I'm not a huge fan of the Phase Pop energy drink. I'm going to be honest.
Well, we're going to find out. I like the powder.
Okay.
But we'll see your reaction.
So you've already tried it. All right.
Yeah, I've been doing it for the last couple of days. We'll cheers on that. One sip though. One review. What do you think?
It's definitely better than the energy drink for sure. It's still probably not the best bomb pop thing I've ever tasted. I would give that like a 7.2.
Yeah.
I would definitely drink it again, and it's better than I had the Gamer Ocean something. Ocean Water?
Ocean Water, the Sonic one?
Yeah, the Ocean Water, Sonic Water. I didn't love the flavor of that. I would say this flavor's better. Yeah. It's definitely better than the energy drink.
I agree, which I don't know. I wonder how that whole thing goes, because I've never tested supplements like gotten batched in and does. I feel like it's easy to talk smack on it, but in terms of testing and actually having to deliver a product, it's a whole different ballgame.
I can't imagine what it goes into the actual flavor testing and stuff.
No.
So I was at a gym in Hayes, and the guy was making his own whey protein. Or not making the whey protein.
In his bathtub?
No. So that's what it sounded like when I just said it. But he was working with some company out of, I think it was somewhere on the East Coast maybe. And they would like send him some things to try. I don't know if he ever actually went to the facility or not, but they would like send him things to sample until he got the right flavor. And then they ended up shipping out all the tubs of protein and stuff. So it's not as complicated as you might think to get into that realm.
No, definitely. I mean, the barrier of entry is probably a lot less than it used to be. You can just go find a manufacturer. Yeah. But I feel like when you're probably delivering something, it's a good product. It's probably going to take a little bit of...
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like... you ever listen to the Axe and Sledge podcast?
I don't think I've actually listened to it.
So they started developing supplements like a year or 6 months out from actual release. Yeah. Like order it. Like apparently they go through with their energy drinks and pre-workouts and stuff, like 4 to 5 renditions of it.
Yeah.
Like they send it back. Because I mean, at that point, like you're a quality company, like you have to probably have matched like the product that actually works in terms of like a pre-workout, like making sure it actually feels good and performs nice, but then also people want to have something that tastes good.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be releasing stuff that just doesn't taste good.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you could probably get away with that.
I feel like everything tasted like crap 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's just like the expectation was so low. But so that's really the reason why I give Ghost such a hard time on that Phase Pop energy drink is because their flavors are unreal. Like every flavor that they come out with is nails in my opinion. And that was just one that I feel like I've had other red, white, or other bomb pop flavors that have been better.
In energy drinks?
Yeah.
Really? What's your favorite?
3D's Liberty Pop is really good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one. That's the red, white, and blue can.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but I've had it.
I know there's a couple more that I'm definitely forgetting about. C4 is, I want to say it's a frozen bombsicle.
Haven't had it.
Possibly.
Yeah.
It might just be blue now that I think about it. It might.
Give me your top 3 energy drink companies.
Ooh, companies.
Companies.
I like that. Okay, straights. I'm going Ghost, Gorilla of Mind, and Zero Sugar Monster would be my top picks, I think.
Yeah.
What are you going with?
Ghost. Gorilla Mind. I mean, I might go with C4 on this one because of like the Skittles and what's another?
They have the whole Starburst line.
Starburst.
They have the popsicle lines now.
I haven't had the popsicle, but the Starburst for me.
The Starburst is good.
Yeah, the strawberry and the cherry Starbursts. I like the formulas and, the nerdy shit with formulations and products that actually, it's not just, like we've moved from that phase of like it just being caffeine water with Red Bull and Monster and stuff to people are actually putting this a little more thought into what's going in there. But outside of that, just from a taste perspective, I do like the Starburst a lot.
The Starburst is really good.
Yeah.
Do you like having the beta alanine in there?
No.
Not a fan.
Not necessarily. Do you use energy drinks as a pre-workout?
No.
So I do every once in a while. I've definitely lowered my caffeine intake. Like this will be my pre-workout for the day, 150 milligrams of caffeine. But I have some coffee and stuff this morning. So I'm trying to, and I've been cutting back on my caffeine. I think I like the thought of having a 400 milligram pre-workout more than I actually like how it made me feel.
Yeah.
Like it gets to this point where I'm like, I don't feel that great when I have a shit ton of stimulants. So if I can get away with less, why would I?
I feel like I used to feel good though.
Yeah.
I feel like I used to take whatever under the sun, and what it actually probably was is I would have a good workout and then the rest of my day just wasn't that demanding.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like with certain things, especially like caffeine, like if I do 1,000 milligrams of caffeine, I feel like I'm beyond the point of productive. I just feel overstimulated and unproductive because of that.
Have you done that much like in one setting? Like one dose?
Yes. Accidentally. So that Apollon that Apollon company.
Yeah.
They're kind of known for their hardcore pre-workouts.
Okay.
And they've got a pre-workout that's 800 milligrams caffeine. I think it's F Mediocrity is what it's called. But they have one that's more of their mainline ones that's Hooligan. And that one is 650.
Oh, wow.
That's for a single scoop. I thought the full dosage was a 2 scoop. So when I first got it, I took 2 scoops. So I was over 1,200 milligrams in one shot.
Wow. What did that feel like?
I was seeing colors.
I bet you were.
I was seeing colors on the drive to the gym. I feel like it's so individual too with different products.
It is.
Something on paper doesn't always match how it works. Because you might look at something that's like for that, I would say that I probably felt better than some of the other pre-workouts that were half of that, but you got some of the other weird like Alpha Yohimbe and some of those weird ones that just leave you in cold sweats. Like it actually was smoother than the label listed.
It was smoother than it should have been.
I don't know about 1,200 milligrams of caffeine, but for the single scoop, yeah. But at the end of the day, still just way more caffeine. Like I like the idea of it being hardcore and more caffeine more than I think I liked how I felt. Like I can get away with doing 200 milligrams now and more nootropics, and I probably get better workouts out of it. I do like the exotic stimulant stuff. Like I am a big fan of like the DMHAs. Mm-hmm. You don't want to do them all the time, but they are fun.
They are fun.
Yeah.
I've taken a few pre-workouts that have that.
I like more of the like euphoric feeling of a pre-workout.
Yeah.
Versus the cold sweats, caffeine stimulation. Yeah.
In my head, I have this like mental barrier of 400 milligrams.
Is like the baseline?
No, as like the top end for a pre-workout. I kind of forget that there's companies out there that are doing just wild stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done more than like 400 milligrams in a setting.
But definitely throughout the course of a day, huh?
Well, for sure throughout the course of a day.
Yeah.
I ran out of pre-workout. Terrible, I know. So I was running a stem-free pre-workout for most of last month.
Okay.
And then I was mixing it in with a little bit of Derek's from moreplates, moredates.com, the Grill Mind pre-workout. I was mixing those two together. So it was hydraulic, the new formula, with Gorilla Mode, which is the one that has caffeine that Derek has. And I just switched back to, instead of getting more stem free, I did the stem free and the regular again.
Yeah.
I'm going back to caffeine in the mornings for my workouts. I just felt like I was having to force myself a little too much to get in the groove. I like having the caffeine in the mornings.
Well, honestly, like, if you're going to take caffeine and like have it out of your system so you can actually sleep, you might as well do it first thing in the morning.
Yeah. So in my head, I was thinking like, well, maybe I'll hold back. I'll skip out the caffeine for the pre-workout, and then I'll be able to do an energy drink like around 10 or something like that. And I'm just going to cut back the energy drinks, keep the pre-workout.
You weren't just doing that for the Andrew Huberman, wait 90 minutes.
Oh, no. I was just thinking like maybe I should have less caffeine.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't work out though.
Not as well as I would have liked.
Yeah.
I was like, I was having some really good workouts before we left for Montana. I'm just going to probably go back to doing what I was doing.
Yeah. The world kind of runs, the U.S. runs on caffeine.
It seems to.
Yeah. You've traveled quite a bit. Isn't it funny, like going to other countries and like there's nothing outside of coffee available?
Yeah. There's, when we go to Mexico, like I look all over the place for sugar-free energy drinks, or when we're at resorts, like you can usually get sugar-free Red Bull.
Yeah.
But that's about the best you're going to get.
Yeah.
It's just coffee down there.
I know. Which I don't know if good or a bad thing, I guess. Like, are we all going to have Alzheimer's by the time we're 50 because of just running off of stimulants? Definitely helps for productivity. In terms of longevity, I don't know. I
can't imagine it's great for you.
No. I think caffeine's pretty well studied.
Yeah. I think it's the mystery bag of other shit that's going in there.
Yeah. Which mainstream stuff, like I would say like a Ghost energy drink. I would say as a whole, it's probably adding to your health across the board compared to what most people are doing. You're getting a full like B vitamin complex in there. You're getting alpha GPC, which is, a nutrient your brain needs, whether you're getting that from there or like eggs. So as a whole, I feel like it's good unless people are just not sleeping. And so they use that as their crutch. But you compare that to like what most people consume, like it's probably better than not having any vitamins and minerals in your diet.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, there's even benefits to caffeine to a certain extent, probably mainly in coffee from the antioxidants, but caffeine's not going to kill you.
Can.
I mean, you take enough of anything. You take one too many baby aspirin, it'll be the last baby
That's
aspirin
true.
you take.
That is true.
Yeah. What's the most caffeine you've had a day, you think? Is there like one time that sticks out to your mind of like, I took too much today?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I've ever gone. There were a few days where I'd hit like at around the 1,000 mark.
Yeah.
I'd assume there were some 1,200 days, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Nothing that sticks out to me. No triple scoop the pre-workout or anything like that.
Mm.
I would assume your highest day was the double scoop of that. What was
From
the
a
name
caffeine?
of that?
Yeah. Hooligan.
Okay.
Good. I mean, it's a good pre-workout. Like it doesn't have a bunch of the other stimulants. It's got a ton of like the lion's mane in there and the tyrosine. So like more supporting ingredients and then the caffeine. But I think I've had worse days with some of the other stimulants.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. What was that one? They make another one that's, I can't even think of the name, but we had it at the gym at the foundation at one point. And it was like 4 grams of alpha yohimbine. And it was just like
Was it the assassin or something?
Assassin. That's it, dude.
Yeah.
It still had like 500 milligrams of caffeine, but it had literally like 7 other stimulants in it. And you just sat there staring at a wall. It was like almost like you wanted to go back to bed.
It was like too much.
It felt like you had a fever.
Damn.
Yeah.
I never tried it.
Didn't like that feeling. I tried it a couple times. Like I'm going to push through this and see what I get. There's people that love it though. Psychopaths. So I feel like I've had worse experiences with that stuff though than just a lot of caffeine. There was one time I was teaching this group fitness class, 30 people, and I think I was on an empty stomach, and I got this sample pack of these like different nootropics and stuff, and there was one called Black Ice.
Black Ice.
And it just came like in one of those sample sized white baggies, and it just had like printed with 0 ingredient panel on it. And I had looked it up, but I think I looked up a different ingredient label. So I'm like, all right, this is nothing. Like I'm just gonna take it on an empty stomach. And I got 15 minutes into teaching that class, and I almost passed out.
Really?
Yeah, because looking back now, it had like 2.5 grams of that alpha yohimbine in it, and I was on an empty stomach, and I just.
That sounds like bad news.
Oh, dude, I was so nauseous. Like the head fog and the buzz was so strong. Like I was doing everything I can not to just pass out. Yeah, it was not great. So
make sure you identify if you're getting things in little baggies, make sure you know what's in it.
That's a great rule just for life.
Just across the board. If you're getting powders and baggies, make sure you know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've used the Ghost Gamer before?
I have used the Ghost Gamer before, not consistently, just more so in place of energy drinks. But I'm starting to get more open to letting the energy drinks go.
And why I like something like that is it's 150 milligrams of caffeine. So like I like doing this like kind of first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Because it has almost a full not a full multi, but it's got like all your B vitamins, vitamin E, vitamin D in there. It's got some hydration stuff. It's got taurine. I like doing taurine in the mornings.
So what do you like about taurine?
I feel like it hydrates me. I just feel like I'm in a good mood when I do taurine.
Really?
I feel hydrated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I almost do this like first thing in the morning. And then if like I forget about it, you end up taking a pre-workout later. You have another energy drink. Honestly, I had a day where I did a Ghost energy drink and that. And it was like a nice, even, smooth energy the rest of the day. So.
Do you ever put the Gamer in the Ghost energy drink?
No, but that. They were spaced out enough, probably like how you do, where it wasn't bad. But that could be at that point, you might as well just take a pre-workout.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you used to take pre-workouts for just like working? Like a day at the car dealership and you're just slamming a pre-workout with all the beta-alanine to go out and talk to people?
I think I did that at the gym occasionally.
Yeah.
It was probably when we were like out of energy drinks and I was like, well, I'm still going to have caffeine.
Yeah.
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 But I think that's probably about it. I'm normally not like just the random time of the day guy.
For pre-workout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially most of the pre-workouts I get now, like I'm more concerned about pump than anything. So it's not like I have the little concentrate scoops of just the stems. It's like it would be kind of a commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for people that don't know too, so like there's that up and down of like the more stems you have, the worse your pump is probably going to be. Caffeine's probably fine, but if you get into all the exotic stimulants, like they're pretty vasoconstrictive.
Yeah.
And so if you're looking for vasodilation, which is a pump, it's probably going to like either cancel each other out if you're doing a lot of stims and a lot of vasodilation. But the more you have of one, the more it's going to cancel the other out, which a lot of people don't. They're like, I'm going to take a full.
I'll just take more.
Yeah, we'll take 1,000 mgs of caffeine and then do this full pump complex. And it's probably like you're hitting a net even.
You're back to just like a regular.
You'll probably be jacked up still, but yeah. So
you're just anxious now.
Yeah, but I feel like it's probably beneficial to focus on more on the blood flow stuff if you can.
I think so. It just I enjoy it.
Yeah,
it feels good.
Yeah, I like doing more. Like I'll save a higher stim day for a leg day.
Yeah, where you need that little bit extra drive.
Yeah, like if you got to go run multiple working sets on a hack squat or deadlifts or squatting, I care less about the pump right then at that point. I just need something to give me that next level. But then on upper body day, I agree, focusing more on
I would
stuff.
say lower body's a lot different.
Yeah.
If you get too much of the pump on lower body, then you're just in pain and you can't.
Yeah.
You're just suffering through it.
And it depends on what you're doing too. Because obviously you train a little more bodybuilder-esque.
Now I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like during your powerlifting primary days, you might not want as much of the pump stuff.
No, powerlifting days, I like the heavy stems.
Yeah. Because at that point too, like if you got a juicy pump that's just painful and you can't move and you're trying to squat 500-600 pounds.
If you get a lower back pump and you're
that's
trying
not very helpful.
No, you're trying to squat heavy. That's not going to work.
Yeah. Like I don't work with any professional CrossFit people, but people that do like the open.
Yeah.
And we stay far away from like the pump stuff. I mean, it's awesome if you're doing that for like recovery, post-workout, you know, for getting blood flow, but like during a CrossFit workout, you don't want to have a massive pump.
Anywhere.
No, because I mean, if you can't, like, let's say you've got a giant pump and you're doing hard working sets of Tabata on a road bike and you can't move your arms or your legs and you're going into like handstand walks, it's not very conducive. It's not very conducive if you can't. Because I mean, I'm sure you had those days where your pump is like so bad or so good that you can't even lift your arms over your head.
It's like it's debilitating as far as your mobility.
So it's super cool, but depends on what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely case specific.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want a giant pump if you're running a marathon.
What's your current pre-workout?
Current pre-workout. So I've got like a closet of probably 10 of them, and I use it probably twice a month.
Pre-workout?
I'm really like I'm like a recovering alcoholic when it comes to pre-workouts. But I used one last week. I used that NutriBio one.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of it, but it's got a full spectrum of pump. It's got EAAs. It's got a full stim blend, I think mainly with tyrosine, caffeine, yohimbine. And why I did it, because I was a little bit low on my carb intake for the day, and it has 15 grams of carbs, cyclic dextrin. So I like that. I almost feel like it's too much. That's another thing with pre-workouts is like, it might look great on paper. It's got 100 ingredients. All of them are fully dosed, but like it's so many things that it just upsets your stomach.
Oh yeah.
So I've had hit or miss. Experiences with that one, but I do pull that one out every once in a while. I pulled that one out last week. I used the Red, White, and Boom Miracle Labs.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I've still got.
They also have energy drinks. They have a good bomb popsicle.
That's right. I haven't seen them for a while. They're energy drinks.
They might not have them anymore.
Yeah. Did S2 used to carry those?
I don't think so.
No,
they may have. I know I saw them in a store somewhere.
Really?
Like I think I ordered them at one point, and then I saw them in a store at some point. I kind of forgot they were a company. Yeah. Red, White, and Boom is legit.
It is. Yeah. It's good. It's literally like 5 ingredients on there, but it's pretty high dose, and it's usually got what I need. Like it's literally like for the pump, it's just citrulline. It's just caffeine. They've got teacrine in there and then creatine. So sometimes I like more of the simpler things. You can pretty much count on it being the same experience every single time. And then the other one, I've got one by Apollon that is it's a performance one. So it's meant for like MMA fighters. There's 0 pump in it. It's got caffeine, but then it's got Pico 2 with like cordyceps mushrooms in it. It's got theobromine. So it's got like a lot of like smoother stimulants in it. And I like that because it's just like performance based. Yeah. So
no pump.
No pump at all.
None.
So that's nice because you could take something like I'll take something like the Gorilla Mind or the Rise pump, and I can add that on if I want something extra for that day and tack it on.
Yeah.
But so outside of that, I'm usually right now I'm doing coffee or Ghost energy drinks. That's kind of my pre-workout, which I know is kind of
not as exciting as exciting as you would expect from the supplement guy.
I know. So the other ones that I do have in the closet though, I've got one from Astroflav. You heard of that company?
I don't think so.
So I've got one that is, it's called like Moonflight or something.
Love the name.
Yeah. And that has 7 different stimulants in it that are more like your DMHAs and
the fun stuff.
The fun stuff.
The fringe of the supplement world.
The fringe of the supplement world that I'll pull that out on a leg day.
So how are you deciding, like, is it mainly leg days that you end up pulling out the pre-workout, or
mainly
what?
Yeah.
What makes you get ready for the gym and instead of grabbing an energy drink, you go to the cupboard, the closet, the pre-workout closet?
Honestly, when I think about it,
really,
if I've got a day where it's not boom, 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 and I'm going to the gym, because usually I'm starting out my mornings with coffee. I'll do the Ghost Gamer 2 at a midpoint of the morning. And then, because usually if my workout falls afternoon, I'm not doing usually anything else. Yeah. That's the main thing for me is like usually if I'm not getting to the gym in the morning, like mid-morning or noon, I'm probably not touching a pre-workout. So that's a decision factor right there. Yeah. And then if there's a day where I'm at home, I'm working and I think about it to go grab a pre-workout, then I'm probably doing it then.
So it's not a habit for you.
Usually a Friday. It's not a habit anymore.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I've got all these pre-workouts that just sit there now, but I'm not relying on it. But yeah, if there's a day I'm like, I want to have some fun with this. If I know it's going to be a pretty grueling like leg day and I want to get after it a little bit, I'll do that. I'm also, if I haven't slept very good, I won't try to turn to caffeine to like rely on it. Cause then I just feel like it's a weird feeling. Like I feel overstimulated, but I'm still ready to go to sleep. Yeah. So I'd rather almost like take a nap and
rather just do that. Yeah. Chill out for a second.
Yeah. So what about you? So you mentioned the Gorilla Mind. What's your go-to pre-workout right now?
So go-to pre-workouts, Gorilla Mode mixed with Gorilla Mode Nitric.
Okay.
So it's the regular stem with the pump and then stem free. Yeah. So it's more on if it was on a spectrum of high stem, low stem, or no stem, closer to the low stem. So it's like maybe 200 milligrams of caffeine total. And then I also do a half scoop of ignition mixed in with it, which is First Form's intra-workout carb product.
Okay.
And I do the other half of the scoop with my protein as a post-workout.
Mm.
And that's been my go-to for most of this year.
Yeah.
I've been pretty consistent with that. I think I'll probably stick with it for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
I do really like Hydraulic too, though, by Axe and Sledge. I think that one's awesome. I'm a little bit picky with my pre-workout these days. I feel like I've just tried so many that if I have one that I like, I just have a really hard time trying something else at this point.
Yeah. What's your top 3 pre-workouts of all time?
Top 3 of all time. I'm putting the Gorilla Mode up there. I'll just put one of them up there, not both, because they're so similar. It might be recency bias, but I think I might put the Red, White, and Boom on there.
Okay.
I never had a full tub. It was always sample packs.
Yeah.
And I loved it every single time. Same with the Stars and Pipes, which is their stem free.
Yeah.
Red, White, and Boom almost looks like milk, doesn't it?
Yes.
When you mix it up. Yeah. So I think that was one of the first pre-workouts I had that was like the ultra big serving size.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a big scoop, which is 2 thumbs up for me. And I'm going to throw a weird one in there. I think it was Olympus Labs. They had what they called Rain.
Yeah.
I think they might've got sued for it because of the name Rain.
Yeah.
So I think they changed the name and then they changed to Olympus Lifestyle or something like that. I would assume they're not as in the fringe as they used to be. So I don't know if it's any good anymore.
Yep.
But that one was awesome. That's one that I would take like maybe once a week because I was just, I would get the cold sweats and it was fantastic though.
You like that?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it for hard training sessions.
Yep.
Yeah. What are your top 3?
That Astroflab one, I'm kicking myself. I can't remember the name, but Moonflight.
Okay.
Number one for sure.
Top dog.
It's that euphoric, almost Adderall-esque energy, but you don't feel super jittery. I need some of that now. But the mind muscle connection on that, great. And I feel like I'm just locked in the rest of the day and I could do that. So that's one. Mesomorph. The old Mesomorph. Yeah. That honestly might be the number 1 contender.
Really?
Yeah. I've still got like the tub of Moonflight that I've got is probably 2 years expired. I still use it. Yeah. I mean, that stuff can't go bad, right? So I pulled that out more recently. It's probably been 5 years since I used the Mesomorph, but like that's a nostalgic one for me. College, pulling that thing out. I would take it at like 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, how did I go to sleep after taking that? But that's going to be top 2. And then number 3. Oh, there was this one. I'm going nostalgia here.
Yeah.
And looking at the formula now, it's not that great, but it was called Bull Knox. Bull
By Andrew Rush.
Andrew Rush, yeah, or
yeah.
Betancourt
Yes.
Nutrition.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
Or was
just,
was it like Beanox Andrew Rush or something?
yeah,
Or
like
Andrew?
that was part of the name. And I
Okay.
think it was like Betancourt.
It was like red and black, right?
Yeah. And I think it went from like Bullnox to then just being hyphenated Beanox.
Okay.
But that was nostalgic.
Was that one that they said it also increased testosterone?
Yeah, that's why you bought it. That's why you bought it. But I always felt like I had great, good energy, good pumps.
Yeah.
It's probably just because I was like 19 years old at the time. So you think something works.
You were going to have an awesome workout regardless.
Yeah.
But.
And I remember that we were in Arizona, like literally training just 6 days a week. And like, that's the one we used. And we're like, testosterone boosting pre-workout. So
that's probably why you gained all that size, man.
Yeah. So those are probably the top three. There's other good ones. I mean, I love the Apollon ones, Gorilla Mind. NutriBio's got some good ones.
I'm gonna throw a random one out there for our KC followers. I don't think they're still in business, but Clean Fuel was awesome. I love that pre-workout.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the orange tub one? It's kind of a staple at S2s. It's black fire carbon.
Carbon fiber.
Carbon fire. They've got, I used one of my favorite combinations that the S2 guys hooked me up with was the Titan.
Yeah.
The Titan's full pre-workout that has the stems in it. And
3X.
Then the Carbon Fire non-stem that was unflavored and tastes like booty cheeks. But the combination of those two is a great combo. Great combo.
I'm trying to remember what the stem-free carbon fiber pre-workout is.
I can't remember.
They're both on the tip of my tongue. It's like just some odd name.
Yeah.
I'll think of it. Or we'll look it up later. It doesn't matter.
I guess, and then the other thing I guess I didn't say is that I do a lot more, and I have been doing a lot more of the pump capsules. So I guess when I say I don't do that, that's more of a consistent thing that I do. I do the pump capsules because I can just keep it in my bag. If I'm like going straight to the gym, I'll throw those down with like an energy drink or amino acids or whatever I'm drinking, and I'll just do that. It's convenient. They come in capsules, and like the Rise one. Yeah, that's the one I've been doing recently.
So what's in it?
I think it's got AP Drive in it, which is like a casein peptide. Okay. It's got citrulline peptides in there, and I think it's got one other vasodilator, but it's like 3 things. Works pretty dang good. Combine that with some sodium, some carbs, and you're ready to go. So I'll do that. And then another thing is I do a lot more intra-workout than pre-workout.
Do you? So what does your intra-workout look like?
So that is typically a product by NutriBio called Leg Day.
Oof.
Yeah. And I try to get more like out of like natural energy stuff. So it's mainly a carbohydrate supplement. So it's got cyclic dextrin and D-ribose in there, but it also has essential amino acids. So it's got an EAA blend in there. It does have a cognitive blend in there, some nootropics. So it's got mucuna, which is a dopamine precursor. I think Cognitique. So it's got some non-stimulant focus aids in there to help push through like a leg day. And a full hydration blend. So taurine, coconut water powder, sodium, magnesium. And so you kind of got a full spectrum of actual micronutrients and hydration stuff, aminos and carbs. And that's something I've been doing a lot more consistently over the last year. Yeah.
So have you noticed, do you just have more gas in the tank on the last half of the workout? Or
yes, and I feel like just my recovery is better. I don't think there's any studies, rhyme or reason to it, but I mean, my thought process is that if you're replacing stuff as you're losing it, like glycogen and carbs, it's going to be better for recovery and performance. You know, when you start getting that last portion of like a leg day or a hard workout, I feel like I've got more gas in the tank. Yeah. And so for me, I think it's a bigger squeeze than just focusing on stimulants. I'm actually going to focus on some of the building blocks for that. And yeah, so I guess thinking about it now, even though I don't do as many like stimulant-based pre-workouts, I do the pump capsules and I do the intra-workout. Yeah.
Big intro workout guy.
I know you tried some of that.
I did. I thought it was pretty good. I can't remember when I tried it. I think we were just.
Yeah, you were in the parking lot. I think maybe it was post workout. You used it.
I think it was.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of.
I remember it tasting fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where like it tastes decent.
Yeah.
It's more for the effect than anything.
Yeah.
How crazy is it though compared to 10 years ago? Protein powders, how much better do they taste compared?
Oh, it's unreal. I used to drink whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, this one's chocolate or this one's vanilla. And you just throw a couple scoops in there and choke it down.
What was the first protein powder you remember using?
I know I went through at least a handful of tubs from like 6-Star Nutrition from Walmart. I can't remember if that was my first tub. And then there were the early bodybuilding.com days. That was always a good time. Getting those boxes to show up at the dorms.
Yeah.
Just all kinds of different supplements. Yeah. I don't know if I remember other than 6-Star Nutrition what my first protein was.
Yeah.
I think if I scroll far enough back, I could probably tell on my Instagram. What was yours?
It was the other Walmart brand. You can probably picture it's got like black, orange. I think it had an X and it was body something. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. What the hell was that?
It had creatine in it and BCAAs, which probably just convoluted the amount of protein that was in there.
Probably.
For people that don't know, if you see glutamine or amino acids or creatine added into a protein, that's probably a way of them inflating the protein numbers and getting away with it without it actually being like 30 grams of protein. It was probably like 10, 12, 15 grams less than it
What was that brand?
Body Armor's
Body Fortress?
Oh my gosh, that's it.
Is it?
I'm looking it up right now. We're gonna Body Fortress.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was it.
Are they still around?
Oh yeah. Walmart, Amazon. 60 grams of protein.
It's so wild to me that just because of their placement and the distribution cycle that they're in, like they probably do pretty well.
I'd imagine they are probably more profitable than 90% of even like well-known brands.
I would assume so.
Because the thing to think about, like the amount of product that they move and their margins on a little bit crappy of a product. Yeah. Some of those Amazon companies do, like the unknown brands, do way better than any of the mainstream ones.
Yeah.
Like there's some well-known supplement companies that honestly like barely skate by just because of how expensive products and ingredients are. And they're not in Walmart or Costco or moving that much product.
Yeah. If you can be in a couple of those distributors and be in a pretty good spot. However, that can also totally leverage a company. Is Redcon One still one of the fastest growing supplement companies?
I cannot tell you.
A couple of years ago, they were massive. I would assume they're.
I mean, they're still in. Are they in Walmart?
I think they did. So that's where I was headed with it. Is they were in a position where you have to make sure that you're not leveraged by Walmart. If you put all your product out there and get it into Walmart, if you sign a deal on it, and then it doesn't sell because it's in a bad spot or whatever it is, like all that product's going to go bad.
Yeah. And then again, not having a supplement company, but one thing I've heard from people that do is you're also working about what they want. So a lot of times you're selling out on maybe your quality or your formulations just because the margins have to match with things, and Walmart can come in and say, hey, you need to make this profitable. We need you to essentially stop doing what you're doing for quality standpoint so that we can move product.
Yeah, because at some point, there has to be some give somewhere. If you're trying to get a cheap enough price point, whether that's for the retail price to be lower or for the profit to be higher, you're going to have some sacrifice there, which is a bummer. But
it is.
I am not doing my supplement shopping at Walmart anymore.
No. I think I've bought a couple things there. So actually, I tried the 6-Star Fruit Loops one.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Really?
Spot on. Tastes exactly like Fruit Loops. I know people have done, off-brand for like fruity cereal flavors and stuff. But yeah, it's spot on. It tastes like Fruit Loops milk.
So is it like an actual collaboration with Fruit Loops?
With Kellogg's. Wow. They've got a Frosted Flakes collaboration one too, which I haven't tried, but
that's got to be good.
I would try it. I feel like when you have those specific collaborations, you better have it pretty good because you're representing their flavoring, their brand. That, yeah.
But that's also kind of the draw of having those collaborations, anyways, is so that people recognize it and they're like, oh, well, it's got to be good if Kellogg's is putting their name on it.
100%. What is there? Phase Pop? Anything else that you've tried that's not a supplement?
What do you mean?
So like, what else like Phase Pop's obviously collaboration with a brand.
Oh,
so do they have popsicles or something
no,
that's in that Bomb Pop flavor?
No, so it's a gamer clan.
Okay.
That's where it comes from. So it's the phase part is the gamer clan or something like that. So then the pop is just part of the name.
Got it. And there's no, like, they don't have any of their own products.
No.
Okay, it's just
as far as I'm aware, it's just like a gaming clan that they collaborated with.
Interesting.
Yeah, so similar to how Alani is doing like all the collaborations with influencers and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's in that realm.
And then just decided like Bomb Pop is going to be our trademark. That's going to be our Bomb Pop thing.
Because then there's a phase up.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. What is that flavor?
Kind of a Mountain Dew.
Oh, okay.
I had that one over the weekend, I think.
Energy drink?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was solid.
Yeah.
I haven't had Mountain Dew. I mean, I haven't had Mountain Dew since 7th grade, so I don't know how accurate it was, but it was pretty good.
What was your childhood soda go-to?
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper and king-size Reese's from the grocery store. That was my go-to snack.
Yeah. Mountain Dew for me. Usually Code Red.
Code Red was good.
Code Red, or what was the orange one? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Was there a lightning something?
There was, but this is orange. I'm not going to be able to think of it. That and some kind of Cheetos.
Oh, really? So you were just oranged out?
Sometimes, yeah. The Baja Blast, when you like had to go to Taco Bell to get that.
Oh, yeah.
That was always a treat.
So the Baja Burst Rise energy drink, is it Rise?
I think so.
That one's good. Or Baja Chiller. I think there's a couple by a few different brands at this point, but yeah, that's a good flavor.
Livewire.
Mountain
Dew Livewire.
Okay, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Man, I did used to like some Code Red. That was an exciting one.
And you haven't had soda in how long?
Not since 7th grade, so 15 years or something.
Even though you drink fizzy, carbonated.
I'll drink, and I eat ice cream and all the sugar and crumble cookie. I just haven't had it together.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of bragging rights a little bit. It's it doesn't come up as often anymore, but it's kind of fun to say, oh yeah, I haven't had pop since 7th grade.
Yeah.
It would be weird to drink it now.
And at this point, I've never smoked a cigarette.
It would be weird to smoke one now.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep it going.
Yeah.
No need, no desire to. So, yeah, I feel you on that one.
Because that can be I don't think I'd have a problem with it. Like, I'd probably just drink one, be whatever. But it's so much easier to stay in shape if you're not drinking your calories.
Oh.
Granted, they have like Coke Zero and all the sugar-free energy.
To be honest with you,
now.
It's maybe snuck in there. It's probably been years since I had a full sugar soda.
Oh, yeah.
I always get either Coke Zero, Diet, Dr. Pepper.
There's a lot of good options now.
Yeah.
Or better options.
Yeah. And I feel like they're making them for people that don't like the artificial flavors. Like Coke Zero, to me, tastes like Coke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the Diet Coke, is that a little bit sweeter?
It's a different, like I can't tell you the artificial flavor that they use, but it's a different artificial flavor. So one tastes like Diet Coke tastes like something different than actual Coke, whereas Coke Zero closer to the actual Coke flavor. And they still sell both of them, which is interesting because you would think that one would replace the other.
I always go Lauren's favorites, Coke Zero or like a root beer zero.
Yep.
So I normally go to the store and I'm looking for a Coke Zero. And sometimes they don't have it. And then they have the Diet Coke. And she would rather just get nothing than get the Diet Coke.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a distinctively different taste.
Like when we were in Montana and we were at the little grocery store, or the little convenience store rather, they didn't have Coke Zero, so I just didn't get her one. The big gas station did.
Yeah.
The little one didn't. Just Diet.
You know, and people bring up the concept of like, oh, I'm going to drink the real thing and the real sugar. And it's like, you shouldn't be drinking soda that much to where it makes any meaningful difference. If you're drinking 2 sodas a week, you know, to me, it's like artificial sweeteners are not going to kill me if I'm drinking this twice a week. And we could get into the whole conversation about sugar versus artificial sweeteners. But like, if you're having to make that of something that makes up 0.01 of your diet, like you shouldn't be drinking either of them consistently, probably to make any meaningful difference at that point. So you should probably just go with what you prefer.
Yeah.
And obviously, again, if you don't have to drink your calories, why wouldn't you probably opt for that? Unless it upsets your gut, which I do get. But yeah.
Gut health, man.
Gut health, man.
Makes a big difference.
It does. How's your gut health?
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
How's yours?
It's good.
Yeah.
I'd say it's good unless I'm off my diet, unless I'm eating different things, a lot of spicy things. But for the most part, whenever I get off track, if I do my consistent thing, which is kind of like a modified vertical diet approach, nails. Never constipated, never have issues. I know a lot of people struggle with that or just feeling bloated and stuff. I don't rarely feel that unless I'm going off diet. Alcohol makes me feel like my digestion gets worse with that. Eating stuff I don't typically eat, which I mean is just for everybody, but yeah.
We're going to Cancun next week.
That's next week?
Next week already.
Yeah.
Came up fast. So I will be taking some of the OptiGreens little packets with me.
Yeah.
Anytime that we're at resort, I really try to stay on top of that, especially.
Do you feel like
for the
greens
digestion.
help you?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say so.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially with that. I think that's the main benefit of greens too, is like probably digestive help versus swapping for your actual fruits and vegetables. Yeah. I mean, they're adding some of those digestive enzymes and probiotics in there. That's something I take now more so when I travel. I like the core ones, Core Nutrition, which is they're like the father company of Red, White, and Boom.
Oh, really?
America Labs, yeah. Okay. They have like 3 or 4 companies under that umbrella.
Does America Labs make anything other than the pre-workout?
I think they've got like some hormone support stuff, and they've got pump and pre-workout. I think it's that. They might have a protein, but I think that they have offshoots. Like Core Nutrition is more of their whole line thing. They've got multivitamins. They've got literally everything for different organs. They've got a liver, a kidney. They've got a multivitamin, digestive one. And I think that they all right, America Labs, this is more of like our hardcore pre-workout company.
I feel like if you're making a supplement company and it does decently well, I think it kind of makes sense to splinter off into different target demographics like that. Like if you already have trusted suppliers and the logistics side of it's already been handled, you might as well narrow it down and kind of differentiate a little bit.
100%. Well, especially too, like compared to taking your thing and just having 1,000 different ventures, trying to appeal to everybody is probably a smarter idea, taking a different brand that's more recognizable for that specific demographic and making that in tune. Probably more of a hassle, but like you go, I think, there's some people that do that, like Thorne. They've got 1,000 products that kind of cater to everybody, but it's a massive company and they've got affiliations with every single professional sports company. But for something like that, if you want like your hardcore line, your line that appeals to soccer moms, definitely a better way to go. Yeah,
I think that's part of why that Olympus Labs rebranding, they went to the Olympus Lifestyle.
Yep.
Is they were trying to get out of that gray area.
Yeah.
Because some of those companies, I feel like they're so niched down into the fringe of what's legal, what's not,
Yeah.
that they're missing a really big market.
Yeah. And I think that's, something that everybody has to decide is,
They also want to be relevant unless they were doing the fringe stuff. So
it's true. I mean, yeah, that's where it's like, do we end up going the route of we want to go Walmart or Costco and just focus on distribution, or are we a first form where all that stuff is like in-house outside of a few specific distributors, but like you're never going to see first form in Costco.
true.
Yeah.
Caffeine, man.
Caffeine
Makes
the world go round.
It definitely seems like it does.
Yeah.
In these times. Question for you. Do you count the caffeine from your coffee?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I do espresso quite a bit, which has a little more caffeine.
Yeah.
And I'll do like a triple shot of espresso. You're not a coffee guy at all, huh? Have you tried espresso?
I have tried, I know I've gotten espresso shots a time or two at a coffee place. And we used to have this cool Starbucks touchscreen coffee machine at the dealership.
Yeah.
And there was a espresso shot option. I've done that a few times.
Okay. Is it more of a taste thing, or like it just doesn't hit the energy?
It hasn't hit
the
energy button for me in the past, but maybe my threshold's a little bit lower now.
I think that could be.
I'm a little desensitized, you know? Because back in the,
so
when
you're
doing
like, you were desensitized.
I'm probably more so
now.
I'm probably better now.
Yeah.
So I was taking like almost a gram of caffeine a day.
Yeah.
Like is it 80 milligrams in a cup of coffee? 50?
Yeah, 90.
Like
it depends on the cup of coffee. It's so hard doing that because, you add more coffee into a coffee pot, you might double your caffeine content versus if it's lighter. It might be the same amount of liquid, but twice as much coffee made for it. So I feel like it's kind of up in the air when it comes to coffee. So I ask that because Dutch Bros,
okay,
they've got this one. It's called the 911.
The 911.
The 911. And it's Irish cream breve. You can get it sugar-free, but I believe it's got like 5 shots of espresso in it.
Really?
I might be below or above. It might be 7. 7 for some reason that's coming to mind, but you feel it. So that might be something for you.
I might need to give that a shot.
You got to try it because it tastes delicious.
Yeah.
And you feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am mainly a cold brew guy, nitro cold brew, and espresso guy.
I do like nitro cold brew.
You do like it?
Mainly
for the taste, or do you actually feel it?
I like the fluffiness to it.
Fluffy.
It's
a descriptive word.
It's fluffy.
Fluffy. Frothy?
Frothy is probably better than fluffy.
Yeah.
The taste isn't bad though.
No. Are you like when you do that, you're doing it straight, or you put a little cream, making a little white girl?
I put a little white girl in it.
Yeah.
So the thing that I do at coffee shops is I keep thinking that I'm going to like we used to be across from Thelmaeus at our last office, and I got some type of cold brew or nitro cold brew that was like aged in a whiskey barrel or something. It was like an aged cold brew.
Okay.
It tasted like wood. It was bad. I was not impressed.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a few of those that end up tasting like whiskey or something.
Yeah.
I want my coffee tasting like coffee.
And I think maybe I need to white girl it up a little bit to get into the habit, and then kind of pull it back on the white girl add-ins.
So you're drinking straight black tar coffee.
Yeah, just like the Cowboys.
Yeah. And I like coffee. I'll drink it both ways. A little gussied up or black. But I like it tasting like coffee. Like if I've got something in it, like one reason I like that 911 is because it's got like Irish cream breve and stuff in it. But when you have that many espresso shots, you still taste the coffee in it.
The coffee comes.
I don't want it tasting like straight sugar or cream.
Yeah.
Like at that point, you might as well just be drinking a milkshake. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not opposed to the milkshake route.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound bad at all.
Milkshakes. They make a lot of espresso milkshakes now.
Do they really?
They do.
So I did have, there's this place called the Happy Hippie in Clay Center, and they did some type of, it was like a chocolatey banana thing, but it's a smoothie. The base of it was cold brew. It was
How
awesome.
was it? It was good?
It was fantastic. Yeah, I loved it.
Nice. We went to, oh my gosh. We went to an ice cream place yesterday for date night. It was a new spot, kind of a retro, Betty Ray's ice cream. Heard of her?
Who?
Betty Ray's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that your first time hearing of it?
I heard about it this week and then we went there. I've never been there. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you go to the one in the River Market?
Miriam, there's a new location.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went there and so they had a coffee one. Tried a sample of it. Delicious. But they had a barbecue one.
Yeah.
It had like burnt ends in it.
With Joe's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
So I have not tried that. I remember I've only been there like once or twice. I never went when we were down in the River Market.
Yeah.
So Chateau bought Betty Ray's, the milk company.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Those are the fancy glass bottles and stuff.
Chocolate milk.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Great banana milk, great cookies and cream milk. All
Never
of
had
it's
anything
good.
outside the chocolate.
Their flavors are pretty incredible. But I believe they bought Betty Ray's, so now they're opening multiple locations and they're going to scale it. But yeah, they got the barbecue ice cream with Joe's. Interesting collaboration. What do you think?
It's exactly like barbecue. I literally got a piece with a burnt end in the ice cream. Great to try. Would never freaking order it. I don't want a cone full of barbecue. It's just ice cream. Needs to be ice cream. I'm also somebody though that separates anything we eat. Like I don't like breakfast foods that have sausage with maple syrup on top of your eggs, on top of your waffles. Like
really?
Everything needs to be separated. So like barbecue ice cream for me, great separate. I don't want them together.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah. No. I'm definitely on board with the no barbecue ice cream, but I don't mind if my syrup is on my eggs.
Yeah.
Or sausage.
Yeah.
I kind of mix that stuff together.
So my grandpa would he'd put everything together. Sausage over easy eggs on top of the pancakes. He'd cut all that up and eat it as a collaboration. Like the eggs soaking into the pancakes. No shot. Disgusting.
More efficient that way.
More efficient
Just
that way.
chop it all up and then put your syrup over all of it.
Yeah. Separation of church and state for me.
Gotta keep them separate.
Yeah.
Separate the syrup and the eggs. I think that might be it for this one.
Caffeine.
Betty Ray's, man.
Yeah. I think it's a wrap.
I think it is. Thanks for tuning in to the Forging Alpha podcast, and we'll catch you next time.